Two more left to load. Cavalryman in the hands of Frankie Dettori, seeking to give Frankie an unprecedented 6th Juddmonte International. And Stimulation in the hands of Daryl Holland looks like being the last. That's it. They're all in. They're off for the Juddmonte International, a mile and a quarter ahead of them. They came away to a pretty good line, and nobody that anxious to make the early running. Stimulation in the purple jacket is prominent, begins to cross over. Dick Turpin restrained, is inclined to race freely. Twice Over closes in against the fence in the pink cap. Byword circling them, working out to the grey Bushman and then Cutlass Bay. Rip Van Winkle in the dark blue jacket is wide of Dick Turpin. He's now settled a little better. A Cavalryman is held up towards the rear of the field with the nose-banded Jackalbury as fairly sedately they go through the first quarter mile. And Stimulation and Daryl Holland striding into a lead of a little over 2 lengths from the white-faced Byword, who's got to the fence and disputes second with the grey Bushman. Tracked by Cutlass Bay with the white cap, who's wide of Twice Over, himself a little keen. Rip Van Winkle, Dick Turpin, red cap next, and then Cavalryman. And Jackalbury, the Italian-trained raider, is at the tail as they go into their first dog-leg turn and down to the final 6 furlongs. So Stimulation leaves the Juddmonte International field from Byword nosing up to a clear second, just ahead of Bushman. Twice Over is next, tracked through by Cutlass Bay, Dick Turpin, who's shadowed by Rip Van Winkle. Cavalryman disputes last with Jackalbury as they swing on in. 4.5 furlongs left to travel, and Dettori is just about last to line up for the judge. They head down the centre of the Naysmar, still led by Stimulation. 3 lengths up, stalked by Byword. Twice Over the far side. Then the grey Bushman from Cutlass Bay. Dick Turpin niggled along, so too Rip Van Winkle. Dettori now in the drive position, away to the left on Cavalryman. Jackalbury is last. They close in on Stimulation, and Byword is the first to commit. Sees Twice Over challenging on the far side. Down to the final 2. It's a Khalid Abdullah 1-2 at present. Byword from Twice Over in a rematch from Royal Ascot. Back in third, Rip Van Winkle. Cavalryman is staying on strongly on the near side. Twice Over and Byword locking horns as they come inside their furlong. Rip Van Winkle is closing in on the near side, and then Cavalryman. Twice Over's got into a narrow lead from Byword. The final challenger on the near side is Rip Van Winkle. 3 of them dive for the line together in the International. Rip Van Winkle thrusting, and they just have got there. Rip Van Winkle, Twice Over. Byword right in behind him in third. Cavalryman up for fourth, and then Dick Turpin.
Thriller for the International, and Rip Van Winkle has woken up today, and he has beaten the Juddmonte duo, Twice Over and Byword, running nearly to the pound from Ascot. Twice Over coming out the better of the pair on this occasion, but nabbing them both in a thrilling finish, delivered late and at the right time. Rip Van Winkle, a hugely important test, passed just.